It's kind of like a magnetic field, I think.
It's as easy to call it that as anything.
And that movement is what attracts. I mean, it's a principle that's so grounded in the movement and flow from source through us back to source. So are you saying that attraction is inevitable? It has to be a physical law.
So are you saying that attraction, sort of like gravity, and inertia are inextricably tied?
Yes.
Yes, we would say that too.
Perfectly. So yesterday when the young man was talking about playing golf, which was just the best ever discussion, I could feel what he was saying about the energy. And I see energy a little bit, but not like he does and some other people do. But last night, laying in my bed, I could feel the flow of energy around me, and I realized, maybe for the first time, that all I had to do was line up with it, and that the alignment, it was like flowing all around. And by lining
up with it, could you say give into it?
Yeah, surrender.
Relax into it. Accept it as something wonderful, and deliberately go general by releasing tension, and let the energy sweep you.
You literally can feel that in your body. You can feel, if you can, I think I said this to you once before, relax enough to move back. Well,
what you can feel the tension in not allowing it, and the releasing of the tension in allowing it. In other words, the two ends of that stick of wanted and unwanted are also inextricably tied. So whether you are letting go of resistance or focused on allowance, it's the same thing.
It's like a rubber band, kind of. You know, there's that moving. I really like the dynamical systems model, because that is ultimately what this is, and it's just perfect.
Describe it.
Oh, I don't know if I can describe it, but that all of this is a dynamic flow, and that it is
dynamic, meaning
it's transactional.
Meaning?
It's shared. It's always interactive.
Meaning everything affects everything.
Everything affects everything.
Yeah.
That when we started talking about the grid, it was easy to think about it as a solid blue checkerboard kind of thing. But really what it is this sort of undulating, vibrating, moving, almost a mass kind of feeling, that the energy is multidimensional and pulsing. And that you pick this up in a million ways. People pick this up in music. You pick it up if you feel the earth. You pick it up if you listen to the stars. You pick it up if you're in space. You pick it up if you're looking through a microphone.
In order to pick it up, you have to focus your energy perceivers by unfocusing your visual perceivers and your auditory perceivers and your feeling perceivers and your smelling perceivers and your in other words,
you can't be that specific. You have to be more general. It's exactly what you tried to get us to do yesterday, to see the aura behind you. You've got to pull back a little.
It's a different focus, in the same way that sometimes you are looking for something and sometimes you are listening for something. Well, we want you to feel for something. And sometimes when you're looking too hard, you get distracted by what you're seeing. Or if you're listening too hard, you get distracted by what you're hearing. And so you distract yourself from what you could feel. So that was the ideal situation. You were in a dark room. Things were quiet. You could be in your own mind. You were distracted from the normal things that keep you from letting that be a top priority. And yet, when you find ways, that really is what the benefit of meditation is. You shut down those other physical senses and you activate your feeling sense, your sensing sense, your solar plexine sense, your emotional sense. You feel differently. And you said it's more general. Really, it's more specific. It's just focused differently.
It's not it's a sixth sense perception, and 6 isn't probably right, but it is a
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 20, 40, 50, 100,000 million.
And so what I'm interested in is how we cultivate that sense.
By deactivating the others in a moment where you're deliberately wanting to feel it.
Yeah, I can feel it now in my solar plexus really
If you
strongly.
will feel for it, Esther is feeling an amplification of it all over her body. If you feel for it, you may be feeling it in your thighs and feet and torso. When you're sensitive to the energy and it is focused in a strong way, your cellular body is an interesting thing, because your cells, which practically speaking don't have eyes or ears, but our vibrational receivers will carry the message. And when you are in a relaxed state where you allow your cells to communicate vibrationally with one another more effectively, that's what those thrill bumps are that you often feel.
Yeah. So this morning we were talking about how great scientists sometimes could finish an equation because they could almost see it and then it would pop in. And that feeling...
Because they were far enough along in their understanding of the equation that they were working on, and confident enough that they were not blocking their own ability. So they had prepared their grid, which means there was a focused question in an attitude of non-resistance. So then they discovered, ooh, can you imagine what it must have felt like to be, or what it does feel like to be that first discoverer of that equation that, because it is valid at its premise, must be valid at its extended most place. And isn't it thrilling to recognize that there is no finished equation?
Yeah. So to cultivate that ability to, I mean, we all can do this sometimes. You can almost feel the answer. You can almost see a design. You can almost...
It's because you already know the answer, and you're almost... This is a good conversation because it's talking about the preparation of the grid and the on the brink of allowing what's in the vortex to flow in, where we've used the word where it reveals itself to you, but you're helping us to say more accurately, it's not revealing itself. You've prepared yourself for the revelation. And you want to use the word discovery, but it's not even discovery because it's already been discovered. It's the allowance of what is already known. So that's why you use words like you can almost feel it. And what you mean is you're on the brink of a translation. It's what's happening with Esther here. We're not whispering words in her ear that she's repeating. These words, and it's happening with you as well in the questioning or in the conversation. It is the on the brink of, and then the allowing of the next logical, and it has to be the next logical, not sequential, but the next logical, in the sense that you've got to be in a vibrational place of allowing what's next, of allowing more.